I invite you to join me in connecting with the earth element, placing your palms firmly on the ground, releasing any unnecessary tension or obstruction that you're holding in your body, allowing Mother Nature to hold it in a kind space, and taking a couple deep breaths through the nose to support you in that process of letting go of the day's stresses, the day's narratives, the day's drama. And offering gratitude to Mother Earth, to Mother Nature, for supporting us, for letting us walk on her as we continue our journey in this life. And being our one supreme Mother who's there for us, gently cradling us, as we're a mere child sitting on her lap, receiving all of the nourishment she provides. Bringing your palms together at the center of the chest into prayer gesture, Anjali Mudra, and feeling that gratitude toward Mother Nature enter at the heart center. As we fuse the solar and lunar energies, the masculine and feminine, the Divine Mother and Father within us, like sacred timing, bringing your hands up to salute the Supreme Reality, our sovereignty within, inviting the wisdom of our unique soul. And creating an additional personal intention, if you wish, or simply joining me and inviting divine grace as we continue to nourish those deep desires within us, carrying us toward our destiny. And allowing the fulfillment of our destiny to enter into our being, infusing every cell. And allowing ourselves to surrender to the mystery, what is not yet known, but is gifted to us and sharing that divine wisdom and that healing and that promise back with Mother Earth, with nature, blessing all the creatures, all the plants, the soil, all that is. And then bringing your palms back to Anjali Mudra. So welcome to day 86. And I'm excited because my favorite limb in Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga of all 8 just might be Pratyahara. Pratyahara. And Pratyahara is often translated as sense-withdrawal. But this is the metaphor I want to provide that comes to mind to me today. If we think of being on a horse, and how do we control the horse? Well, we have reins. And so we have the reins, and there's a certain way to hold them. And it's quite technical. My daughter has taken a lot of horseback riding lessons, and we've shared that adventure in Costa Rica through the jungle and on the beach, and it is truly magical. But I want you to imagine that the reins are your senses, and the horse is your mind. And so ultimately, how do we control the horse? Through the reins. How do we control the mind? We control the mind partly by controlling the senses. So yesterday, I shared about how the breath is such a deep part of regulating the mind. And today, we talk about the senses. And this idea of withdrawing the senses, sometimes it gets translated as denouncing the world. But the reality is that the Vedas came out of a time that was rich and flourishing. And people didn't necessarily denounce the senses, denounce the world, in order to align with their deepest desires, align with their soul's destiny, become awake, become more conscious, liberated even. And so then how do we understand this idea of withdrawing the senses in the modern world, where again, we're not in some ashram where we've taken a vow of celibacy. We're not in a cave in the Himalayas where there's really not much to be stimulated by. I don't know about all of you, but I think the world in modern times, in many of the cities where we dwell across the globe, are stimulating our senses, and they're in overdrive most of the time. And so I want to invite you into the idea of grabbing the reins and feeling like you're in charge. That's what it's about, to gain that sovereignty over our mind. And so what might an example be? There's so many, but it can be as simple as turning off your phone for an hour. But even that, even if you have to work on social media, you have to be immersed in all of the stimulation, you can still be in charge of the mind, because the mind doesn't have to take everything in. The mind doesn't have to be pulled this way and that way by everything that's coming across social media. You can have sovereignty over the mind. You can have control of what the senses is bringing in. You don't have to download every program. So that's what I want to invite you to think of. Pratyahara. I'm in charge. Whatever comes through my senses, I decide whether I'm going to allow that program to run on my mind or if I'm going to let it just pass through like a thought, like a cloud. Okay? So, pratyahara. We don't need to withdraw from the world. We don't need to withdraw from all of our sensual pleasures. We need to be in charge so we can act out of integrity from our heart in alignment with our deepest soul's desires. So, along with asana, posture, finding our royal seat, regulating our nervous system through our breath, through pranayamas, through bringing our breath in sync with nature or another human being who's helping us co-regulate, or even a pet. And then pratyahara, grabbing the reins, being in charge of what comes through your senses. And all of these help us, support us on our path to, again, come into our inner royalty as we build our palace from within. Om peace.